Sportsbook app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. or this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Alamo Casino, Arizona Charlie's Boulder, or Arizona Charlie's Decatur, and you'll never miss another bet. For full details, visit williamhill.us.
Sports and traffic every 30 minutes.
Sports update brought to you by Interstate Batteries. The UFC has announced its full lineup for a UFC Fight Night event on May 30th, which is expected to take place at the company's Apex facility right here in Las Vegas. UFC President Dana White confirmed the welterweight bout between former champ Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns that will headline the card. This event is scheduled to air on ESPN and ESPN+. New York Jets are signing former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco to a one-year deal, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Flacco will reunite with Jets GM Joe Douglas, who was a Ravens scout in 2008 when Baltimore drafted Flacco in the first round. Update brought to you by Interstate Batteries. When it comes to dependability in car batteries, no one beats Interstate Batteries.
Baby, what's up? I here got the grill smoking.
It's Cofield and Company.
He ain't big for nothing, y'all. You know what he doing. Hey, y'all have a blessed Sunday.
That's my type. That's my type. That's my type. Hey, bagel, that's the pipe.
You don't look happy.
That's my type.
It's Friday. Fun.
What do days matter now?
We're back. We're getting back to normalcy. What is wrong with you? Got fights to cover coming up. We might have the NHL here in like 5-6 weeks. The NBA could be here. Everything's good.
Sure.
Let's go.
Everything's wonderful.
This lady singing about 8-inch pipes. Let's do it.
It sucks that there's a Memorial Day weekend that you're like, it's just a regular another 3 days coming up.
My God. Debbie Downers, eternal lockdowners. I knew you were feeling crappy yesterday. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Trying.
All right. So this is not going to pick you up. I know that because you're very cautious on opening the city back up. You don't exactly think there's a benefit to the NBA being here with their bubble. It looks like the NBA is going to split the bubble west-east, Disney World in Orlando, and here in Vegas. Jared Dudley said of the bubble, players would be able to leave the playing sites, but there would be constant testing. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know what constant means. I guess we'll find that out. I was actually I was listening to a very, I thought, insightful interview with some NHL people the other day in Canada. And they were just discussing a lot of this part. And this was actually one of their big topics. They spent like 7 minutes on this of what does a bubble mean in terms of leaving? Because they said their take was no way players are gonna do this. Like they're leaving, they're figuring out ways to leave, they're figuring out ways to bring people in.
Okay.
Like that's the downfall.
So then maybe it won't be the downfall if the leagues and especially the NBA, because I haven't heard anything about the open bubble. Right? We've now heard about an open bubble from the NBA, at least from Jared Dudley. It doesn't mean it's official, but this is one guy saying it. Do you feel like if they don't come out with restrictive rules, the players don't feel like they have to break the rules? Isn't that what Vegas is all about? Like we're going to trust you to show self-control and be responsible. Don't screw it up. Dudley said you'll be allowed to leave. This is what he told ESPN's Dave McMenamin. He said, now, just because you leave, if we're going to give you that leeway, if you come back with coronavirus, you can't play. So it's kind of like, hey, we're giving you the responsibility so you don't feel like you're trapped. Is it almost a little reverse psychology?
Yeah, I guess in that way. But also, this is why I've kind of been against Vegas being the bubble all along. That's why I thought Edmonton is perfect. Like, why would you want to leave? Like, just go in Edmonton, stay there. You're stuck there, and you're not going to leave because you don't want to leave. Vegas has the draw of wanting to leave. That's almost why I think it's a negative. And I should also be clear when I'm talking about this. I'm all for like bringing business back to a casino and a hotel, and if you can open because they were talking about opening shows at whatever property, like those jobs are good. Again, that's why if we're not paying for it, if we're not paying them to do this, okay.
By the way, if this is at Mandalay, the NBA, if it's at Mandalay. And sort of at Luxor for the help staff, and they open tables. If there is some gaming available.
Sure.
That's got to be enticing, right?
Right, again. Yeah.
You've got a bunch of rich guys who are bored. Hey, maybe they go down and throw some money on the table.
Sure.
Then we get people back to work.
100%.
We can try out the plexiglass system,
100%.
which, again, is going to be We got some stories coming up, man. I'm seeing some of the pictures. Like in Florida, they've gone crazy. They're cooped up. They're gambling crazy. But some of the images, I'm like, man, I don't know. Like I don't like gambling that much in terms of table games as it is. I got my fill when I got here, when living near Atlantic City. That's going to be an adjustment. But you know what? People are just so anxious right now. They're like, yeah, put glass in between us. I'll yell around it. I got to reach under the glass.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Anything close to gambling, anything close to entertainment, I'm in.
Yeah, I think
That's a
true.
positive.
Yeah, and players would love that, and that'd
Restaurants
be great.
open. You got to have staff for that. This is a good thing.
All those things are good. Again, unless we're paying a whole bunch of money to get them to do it.
Put that
which
aside.
is different.
Put that aside, because your other issue has been trusting people.
Sure.
Do you trust the NBA people?
Well, not hearing this. This isn't.
What do
good.
you mean?
This
Jared
isn't
Dudley
good.
said we're going to give you leeway. It's on us to be responsible. And when you think about it, if you're not responsible, you're letting down a lot of people. First of all, you're putting your family in jeopardy if they're around. We still don't know what the deal is on that. But you're putting your team in jeopardy. This is now a limited NBA season. There is a championship on the line. You screw around, whatever. You're the third or fourth option on a good team, and you jerk around and you cross the line and you expose yourself and you get it. That's going to be remembered forever. Rudy Gobert will never be forgotten.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert blowing a potential championship for the Jazz would be even worse.
Yeah,
Especially after all that we know.
and I agree with all those things. The hockey discussion, and I'll go back to that because I thought it was very intriguing. Was nobody, because they were talking about this exact same thing, like the personal responsibility to your team would keep guys from going out, and their response was, yeah, no starting goalies going out, no first top three line guy is going out, the fourth line guy, that's a problem, and the NBA, the 11th guy, that's a problem. Like those are the guys that wouldn't have that same level maybe of responsibility if they're just here and they're like, hey, I'm in Vegas. What does it matter? Let's go. Like that's the issue, and that's where it comes in.
Let's get to the NHL. So the NHL now is looking at a couple of different plans. We're in the mix with at least half a dozen cities to be one of the pod hosts. That's 12 teams, 2 different pods. And we're also, it sounds like the lead candidate. It sounds like we're almost guaranteed to be the final 4.
Yeah.
Like we get the end of the NHL playoffs. It looks like in the last couple of seconds, I haven't seen a good verified report on this, but the NHLPA was voting on this today. It looks like we're there, that they've approved. Now we'll follow up on this again. It should literally, I'm seeing tweets 59 seconds ago. So where are we on this? If the NHLPA says we're a go, now Vegas is competing against which cities? Because I've seen a bunch of cities, and in fact, last night I started tweeting out there were folks in Edmonton coming at Vegas. I don't know what's with Edmonton and the saltiness about Vegas, because we've heard stories about them being just jackholes about the hockey here, the hockey fan here,
Yeah.
and now they're all puffing up about how Edmonton's great and Vegas sucks, everything's closed. Why should they get it? Like, dial it down with the freaking adversarial relationship, Edmonton. Dial it down.
The funny part is Edmonton sucking is why I think they should get it. Like it's a perfect place.
The fans should take it that way. Like, we suck.
Yeah.
We're boring.
Yeah. Now Edmonton
We're
is
safer.
Edmonton is a perfect location. Perfect. Could not get better. And they actually put up a proposal that I thought was very, very good. Edmonton should 100% get this.
What was the proposal? Did they do a lifestyle presentation?
They did, and they had
What does that include?
well, and they talked about the fact that for those that haven't been to Edmonton, which I hope is nobody, hope it's just me that's been there like 5 times the last 2 years.
My guess is Edmonton is not it's not the worst Canadian city you've been to.
Oh man,
It's bad?
it's
Worse than the Peg?
yeah. Oh yeah, I like Winnipeg a lot more than Edmonton.
Definitely worse than Vancouver. You like
Vancouver's
Vancouver.
amazing.
Yeah, you like
Vancouver's
Vancouver.
amazing. Calgary's cool.
Edmonton's bad?
Cool enough. Edmonton's awful.
Are you sure?
But here's the thing: there's
You
like
sound pretty sure.
There's
Like,
4
it's awful.
blocks. There's 4 blocks of Edmonton that are pretty awesome, and it's around the arena. It's a newish arena, which is fantastic. Their facility is right there, at the same location, and it's a hotel, casino, arena block where you can just say, "All right, this is it. Stay in here. Nobody leave here."
One of the big hockey insiders said lifestyle presentation included a secured golf course,
Yeah, that was the other one.
cool temperatures, outdoor big screens for movies and other games, some fun stuff planned.
The golf course one was big too, which I think we could probably work on here. Like you could maybe could you shut down Valley High and use it maybe? There's a way, but they basically said this golf course is closed. We're closing it for everybody else. It's just going to be for NHL, and there's going to be a rotation. Like this morning, this team gets it. This evening, this team gets it. So like everybody would have like a golf course that they would have private shuttles to.
But all stuff that we can do, except as you said, we're not boring.
Right.
We have lots of options.
Right. And that's why I thought Edmonton was a better option. Now, from what I was told, and I have far better sources on the NHL side than the NBA side, Toronto and Edmonton were pretty much a done deal.
It was going to be double Canada.
Yeah. Because
just two sites in Canada, that's it. No American city was going to get it.
And then Vegas for the Final Four.
Wow.
And the reason is, and we've talked about this a couple times before, the availability of ice all in one area where you don't have to go very far. Now, if you do it here, you're really going to have to use like the whole city. So you're going to have to be shuffling people in and out of City National, probably the Orleans, maybe I know they updated the ice down here, down the street, which maybe you could use for practices. But they're all spread out. Where in these other locations, you could just have a bubble with all the rinks right inside that bubble, which is perfect. And then you had other people weigh in because guess what? This is a TV event. This is all about TV because there's no fans. And, the Canadian broadcast partner was like, yeah, this is great. It's perfect. And NBC said, no. Well, you can't have both in Canada. That's not good for us. We need one in the U.S.
Wow.
So they started looking at Northeast locations, and then they said, well, there should probably be a West location. So it seems like the NBC people were like, yeah, we want to go to Vegas. That'd be cool.
In the East, you think Toronto's a lock?
I don't know if it's a lock.
The cities in the East that I've seen considered, Toronto. Who else have you seen? I've seen Columbus. And I've been to Columbus in that downtown area.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It doesn't sound like they have a ton of hotel rooms, though, close by.
Better than campus.
They would be using campus too. Other cities I've seen 8 or 9 cities are under consideration. So Toronto, Columbus, Vegas, Edmonton, Minnesota, Dallas, also in the mix.
Yeah. And they all make sense on some level. And Vegas, from what I've been told, anytime there's any kind of discussion in the league office and they're sitting around and they're like, and then Bettman will be Vegas. And they'll be like, well, what if Vegas? Bettman is just Vegas, no matter what. So that's probably a benefit for Vegas of getting this.
For once, well, just for at least a couple of months, we can be on Gare's side.
Was it the one city that doesn't know to boo him yet? They're kind of figuring it out. And I think people here know to boo him after what happened with the San Jose series. Yeah. And I think it's also like people want to come to Vegas. Like that's the bottom line of things.
And by then we're talking, it's a 24-team playoff format, 12 teams in each of the 2 locations. How long would it go before you start whittling it down?
I've been told start to finish bubble is 57 days.
Wow. And that the 57 includes the back end with the Final Four?
I think that's separate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if we get the first part of this, we could be looking at freaking like 80 days. Right? Something like that.
Well, I think they'd probably rush the final. I think they'd rush the finals.
Okay.
And maybe it would include that then.
Yeah, I mean, that's another 23 days.
Maybe it's they're counting moving the bubble, so they would say it's 57 days total then.
Yeah.
So 2 months total.
Okay. That sounds good to me, especially if we're open to like a 25 or 35% level. Maybe bigger by August.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You excited? You're going to be covering a lot of hockey.
Yeah, not well. Checking vacation plans against NHL plans too.
Stop, you're get out of here.
Literally booked a flight 2 days ago.
Oh no. It's a once in a lifetime event. You were so fired up to to travel to Florida to cover UFC. This is totally unique.
Sure.
You want to always cover the big story.
Sure. I was also told the original plans are no media at all.
Oh, really?
Except for broadcast partners.
Okay. Book away.
Well,
then you've got an excuse.
No,
I didn't know.
I'd still cover it from outside.
Of course you would.
And I'm sure they're gonna.
I'd cover it on vacation. Yeah. Of course you would.
Everyone will be. You'd still have to work. You would just do it not at the arena.
So lots of excitement. NHL could be here for 2 different stints. We'll get back to the NBA in a little bit. We got a guest coming on at 5:30. But can we get through one day this week One day without Michael Jordan talk. Just one day. Apparently not. Sam Smith, who wrote one of those books that really pissed off Jordan, he's now spoken up and he's like, all right, there was a lot of embellishment in The Last Dance.
Visit Cofield's Corner on lvsportsnetwork.com for access to the latest podcasts and best interviews.
Warning: if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay